I braided my hair because I was like, well, I would keep it back and then, keep it clean the longest if they really do turn off the water or whatever. I don't know how, I guess, I don't know, who knows what the hell they can do. Like, seriously, I've seen people up on TikTok. I've been up since 2:30, and it wasn't because of that, but I think, the energy is out there. It's on everybody's mind. I saw people on TikTok like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and, the 24th, we're all thinking of, and I even, for a while, I was watching this live, and it was a guy on this weird little scooter, like, thing that is one wheel, and he just drives around. I don't know if he's some sort of security or something, because he has a police radio going the whole time, but he also has this rap going the whole time, and he's also, I don't know how he keeps his camera so steady, but he's driving and moving downtown the whole time, and so you're seeing all the stuff. I don't know, it's like mesmerizing. And so, and there was a whole bunch of, also, there was a lot of people who were, because I was at first in one that caught my eye, was a person in Florida. I gotta sit back a little. A person in Florida who was, I feel like my hair looks like Elvis or something. This person who was doing a sunrise in Florida. I swear to God, I swear. I've been in a battle of wills with her for the last couple days. I'm like, what in the hell with this? Keep crying at me. Like, either she has got a serious ailment, or she had, but then the whole thing is she'll jump up and play and stuff. I think it's emotional. I think she's sad and lonely. I think she's real sick of me always being on this thing instead. But, how much time can I just sit and pet her? And then she gets where she's crying because I'm not sitting there making her feel better. She needs to have the companionship of another dog. And so I was thinking about getting a cat for her. I thought, well, I could get a kitten. And then she got used to the cats, so she quit barking at him. But then we were sitting outside the other day, and I heard these vicious cat fight in the middle of the day. I was like, man, I don't know. And there was another thing too that I don't remember what it was, but I was like, I don't know about the cat thing. This seems like all signs are telling me don't get a cat. And then I was thinking about getting another dog, but I really feel like that we're going to be leaving. I mean, I get that message all the time, and I don't know if it's going to be because of a disaster I'm going to have to go. I have no idea. Please let me do this, okay? And so that is the thing too, is a lot of the people who are talking about the 24th, at least I see a lot, because it's more in the comments where the people are like really scared and panicky and like don't know what to do. The people who are speaking, what is it, Stella? I'm doing something. I gotta keep doing these deep breaths and stuff. I keep doing all these deep breaths and sighs and grunts and groans and stuff. It really does help release energy. It helps you sleep better too. If you go to bed and you just make a lot of grunts and groans and like let out all of this energy, it really does help you sleep better. I used to take all sorts of sleeping pills. Oh, she's on the move. I used to take all sorts of sleeping pills, and I don't have to do any of that now. But anyways, so the people who are talking about it, they are saying, stuff like, you cannot control what's going to happen, so don't give it your fear. You got to focus on living your life. You can't just sit there and stress and, telling stories and stuff like that. So I think that is, that's good. I think that's like that hand of God where people, it's the universal energy. It's a change in the energy. So, a lot of people are, as each of these things keep happening and building up, this is really bugging me. As each of these things are building and building up, they help us build up, not like a wall or something like what we've been used to building up. it is it's like a working out of a muscle or something. So you have to keep going through these things. It helps those parts of you become stronger. And so, where you do get to the point of like, there's nothing to sit and stress about. There's nothing to be scared about. Like I know when I was watching the sunrise one, the thing that caught my attention was they're expected a hurricane today, and so he was worried, and other people in the comments and stuff like that. And he was like, well, we already prepared, and that's all we can do, and then just just do our thing, because what are you going to do? You can't just crawl up in a ball and stop living your life because you're scared you might die. Then what is the point of life? You're not even living. You're just a ball of fear. And so you have to get yourself into that space in your mind to be able to calm yourself down, those coping skills, those like self-soothing kind of skills to get yourself relaxed so that you don't just go out and spin out and freak out. And like, you have all these people who overreact and react with anger and mad and bullies and call people names, and that's inside them. They haven't managed their own anger, their own fear, their own anxiety. They just lash out at people. And if you're one of the people who's lashing out, you just need to take some time to calm yourself. Like, don't go out, for one thing, don't just go out and interact, because I think some people use anger like a drug. Like they need a release. So then they just go out and just take it out on people. Especially, like, I think that's the reputation of old white men, because they were never taught how to process their feelings and how to release emotions. And it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel emotions. And so they didn't never learn how. And then, but something that's always accepted by the general society is men in anger, whether it's so people can talk shit about it or just, oh, well, that's how it goes, but that is where they've accepted men to put their emotions out. So a lot of men overreact in anger, and they go out into the world just looking for a fight, looking for somebody to take it out on, because they're so frustrated. They're so wound up, so tight. And they don't know how to release that energy. It's just inside of them. Just, it's like they're a crock pot, a pressure cooker walking around, and it's just spewing out the sides. The fluid's all dried up. That's funny. It says like micro, macro. But it's all dried up, They're just fuming. And so they're looking for a release. And, God bless the person who crosses their path. So, but don't let them trigger you, and if you are one of those people who are, easily triggered and just going around like, just full of anger and pent up frustration, you have to figure out how to release it. And it's crazy. I was thinking about this yesterday, how many people have accepted like a sexual release as a release to their energy. Because I was thinking about like how many men are always like, well, I have to have that release before I go to sleep. And it is like, it's an energy that you need to release, but that is kind of like you've got a problem, so you're going to run and get a beer. A sexual release isn't the only release. It's not going to release the energy. And then you see how many people get this warped idea with sex and aggression, and how it all starts merging. They're not managing their own energy, and they're using what comes easy to release it. You know what I mean? And what's weird too? Yesterday, I turned on this Lifetime movie. It came on YouTube, and, I turned it on. And at first, I was just like, it was like watching a car wreck or something. I was like, man, do I just turn this off? It's really disturbing me. Do I just turn it off, or do I keep going and see where the fuck is this going? Like, am I judging this too early? Like, And why are they showing all this? I turned on the Dahmer new mini series thing on Netflix. I was trying to be like, okay, I'm just going to go off of YouTube. I'm going to go see if there's something out there. Go out into the great beyond, go into the Netflix. And there was this new show, Dahmer. I used to be really into serial killers and stuff. I was always trying to understand, how did they get like this? What happened to them? And so Dahmer, is an interesting cat, and I had seen a lot of other stuff on him, so and I love the guy who was playing him. I really like that guy, and he was. I was trying to think of him the other day because he was with that Emma Roberts when I couldn't remember her name the other day, the one who was in that Fate movie, the cute little romance movie. So this guy was, and he's always in American Horror Story, but he. So he's playing Dahmer. So I was like, okay, well, it might be too gross. I'll just, change it if it's just too disturbing. Because I know they put a lot of that stuff out to feed a certain energy so that to stress us out. Like they do it with frequency in movies now. They do it with all sorts of stuff. It's just as constantly trying to manipulate our energy through all of their stuff on the television, all of it. So anyways, I was watching it, and it was, I don't know even how to explain it. It was almost like erotica. It was like they were selling, it was very like, you start watching it, it like arouses something in you. And then I think that messes, like if you're a younger person, like I can realize, oh, this show's doing something, this is weird, and turn it off. But a younger person could be watching that and think like, oh, see, I'm turned on by this. I want to do this. I want to be like this and stuff like that. But they did so much sexual arousal I didn't never get to the murder part. Just the sexual arousal stuff that was going on. I was like, this is disturbing. Like, I have the awareness of what they're doing, but it is, and then you got questions. So why are they doing this? Why are they trying to make this whole sexual arousal around somebody who eats people, because we know what he did. And that, and just murder, and just his whole thing. I mean, all this stuff about the whole thing, and then to really sexualize it, not demonize it. And then you think like, oh, so, are they just trying to really, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Somebody else can watch it and see what they think. But I took it as very much they're trying to really make it sexually explicit, this psychopath. So then in the Lifetime one, so then the next day, I guess, I don't know, I'm confused on time. And so the Lifetime one was so goddamn, oh my God, this was so fucking weird. So this mom, and I had just seen her in a movie the day before, like, it's weird, like how this stuff crosses over. It's not like I'm watching 100 movies. Like the next movie I watched, and it's got this other told another channel, and it's got this same person, only it's like 20 years earlier. So this movie, because the movie I had just seen her the other day, she was, she was together with an actor who was like, I swear to God, he's really, really old, and he is 20 years older than her in this movie. So this movie, it seemed like it was really new, but she was older. I don't know. I swear to God, everything they do, it just messes with your head in this stuff. But so anyways, she's a single mom, and she's going around with her kid. They're on the road driving, and so it's them out in the, freedom driving. And then it starts being, the mom's drinking and driving all the time. She's always smoking. She's never paying attention. She's always a little too close to her son, a little too, and he's very isolated. He doesn't have anybody else in his life except for this woman. And so then she, in order to make it on the road, she screws over and screws with and does the whole thing with these men. You know, she does it and then she steals their stuff, and the kid's all involved in the stuff. And, you know, and he wants to be more involved. He wants to help out a little more. And the mom is just, you know, just out there on her own thing. It's kind of like her son is, you know, just somebody to talk to sometimes who she likes. And but she doesn't take her parenting role at all serious, and the son is very much reliant on the mom, and he's getting more and more disturbed. And you're like, is this like this movie, The Making of a Serial Killer? Like, what are they trying to show here? Like, this is so bizarre. Then she, I don't even remember it. I mean, it just kept showing her screwing over all of these guys. And, because she was drinking and she was drinking, and the son, the 10-year-old, wanted to drive. And so she said, okay, he could drive. And they're driving out on some old country road or something. And she's just pounding down the drinks, laughing like she's in a bar talking to her friends. And he gets all into this like it's a spaceship and just guns it and won't let off. And she tries to grab the wheel, and they roll the car. And so they get in a wreck, and then they're rescued by a guy. Of course, that's all she has is these guys all the time. She goes in there and starts a relationship with this guy while her son's in a coma. The son wakes up, and now she's in a relationship with this guy. And, you know, and the kid does not like it at all. He does not want this guy around. And this was so disturbing. It was like, why would they even put this in a movie? I couldn't believe it. It was so fucking creepy. This kid, so it's I think his first day awake or something, and he's looking for his mom, and he goes up to her bedroom door. I think he's just looking indoors. Maybe he knows it's her door. Maybe he hears all the noise, but he looks in, and the mom's just on top of this guy, just riding him, just this total porn look thing going. Just because they haven't got the close-up doesn't mean it's not the same thing. And so it's doing that, and the kid walks in the thing, walks up kind of close to him, and then sits down in a chair. It's got all this stuff just showing this kid watching, and you know, like, he's already got this unhealthy thing with his mom. This is just getting so creepy. And why are they even having to go in and show all of this whole decrepit scene? Like, what is their point? Just like in the Dahmer one, like this total sexual thing leading up to this, horrific murder that goes on in his show. In this one, so the son sits down in the chair, and he's totally watching the mom, just totally watching her, just going to town. Then all of a sudden, the mom splits into two moms, and one mom comes over and starts talking to him. And then the guy splits into two and comes over and starts talking to him. And he's just sitting there having a conversation. So in the background, they're having sex. And it's just like, this is the weirdest scene. Like, what is their point? Why are they doing this? Are they just trying to make us completely desensitized? Are they trying to show it's okay? I had just seen a book that Amazon has out that people are outraged about, because it's something about teaching your kids about sex or something, and it says you should have your kid come in and watch you. It's perfectly healthy and perfectly normal. It's like, it's perfectly child abuse. You fucking weirdo. Like, what in the hell? God damn. Come in, children. You will have your lesson. This is, oh my God. Damn. Oh, but they're doing it right in the shows. Like, and then this movie just got weirder and weirder. The kid kills the son. Then the mom abandons the kid. Then she has regret, runs back, gets him before he even wakes up, cuddles up with him on a hotel bed. Then they go back on the road. Then she tries to go and start, over and get him so he can have friends. His two friends are psychopaths. And then his dad shows up, who's been following him all along, who's been communicating with him through the astral planes or something. It's like these repeat things. Like his dad had already come and done this, but now he's coming to do it in the physical. It was like all this weird stuff. And they kept being like, what is the point of all of this? Like, I still, I still don't know. It was like somebody was on an acid trip making this thing. Then the mom's going to leave again. Then the dad's going to take him. Then he's trying to kill this dad. He's already killed the other guy. He doesn't remember killing him. Then the kids are trying to help him kill him. And then the mom gets taken away. And then the dad is like, what is happening in this movie? Like, what is the point of all this? Just to show this weird perversion? Is that their point? Is just to get this in the airwaves? I think so. I think it is. And, I think that is, it's just so disturbing. Like when I was just thinking about, I was opening, the dog treats or the dog supplements when I was just feeding her a minute ago. And I was opening them and, it's like, oh, you got the plastic wrap on the outside. You got to get that off. And then as you age, you don't have, your fingers aren't as nimble or something. It's much harder to do that kind of stuff. Like I have to get out a knife and scissors and cut this shit off. And then after you get that part off, well, it's got an extra sealed container inside. Get that one apart too. It's like, oh my God, I was just so frustrated by just remembering back to when they did the whole Tylenol scare and knowing what a false flag that was, knowing that they did the whole goddamn thing just so the corporation could begin to charge people. They could run small business out because all the small business that couldn't then put on all these extra wrappers that the FDA, you have to do this. If you want to sell your products, you better get the extra wrappers on. And all of the companies then who had to, inflate their prices to cover the extra packaging. And then, so everybody abandoned them. Like, I know you're trying to, do something good here, but we got to go with the cheaper product. And these people are really giving it way cheaper because they own the corporations that supply all of the covers, the plastic. The stuff that they are telling us we have to have. It's always the same way. You have to have this because we supply it. It's just like, what the fuck? It's such a fucking scam. And then they're running every business out who doesn't play along. And and then all their rapping and all their bullshit all ends up in messing with the planet. Even the petroleum and all of the stuff that they take to make this toxic plastic chemicals that can never go away. They're just here forever, apparently. And I saw the other day too. So they want to now start something really weird with the windmills. They want to start making, I don't remember what it was. It's not food, I think. I mean, they've got so many things they want to make food out of now, because there's no resources, because we are, we use all of this petroleum so we can make our plastics so that we can fill this planet full of garbage and for all unnecessary stuff just so we can make money. And, everybody was perfectly fine buying stuff off the shelf. They're the ones who come up with these schemes and scams, and they always know that they're going to scare us, and then we'll go to them for our safety. I mean, they play it over and over and over. The same with 9/11. That's probably what they're trying to do right now. And, and who knows, right, I'll say the 24th, that's 24 on the clock. But today's the 24th. And so people are just like in a total panic, of freaking out. And I had seen now also, that this is the military put a deadline on Joe. He has to step down today or they're taking action. And where people are like, well, this is going to be the biggest military thing on our soil. And so, there's, no matter what, something is going to go down somewhere. Like they've got hurricanes going over here, tsunamis going here, earthquakes going there, volcanoes going here, floods going there, tornadoes. They've got everything going everywhere. Like if you were up above, this is probably looks like the most chaotic scene ever. And all of the things happening is so people can expand themselves, like seriously, nobody is running out when they need to rescue somebody and asking who they voted for. It is a unifying experience to go through tragedy alone. And it was always going to be in a lot of isolated places, but there still, I think, is going to be something huge. And it could be today, it could be tomorrow. It's going to be something because it's that energetic turn of going the other way. That is going to be the part that's the great awakening. When everybody, it's like the lights coming on. It's the same thing I've been talking about since the beginning. All of these different centralized local disasters are to help people with their awakening, to start healing, to start facing things and start questioning things. So all of those things are happening because of different people. And when people come together in groups, then they all, they go into it with this unifying experience that is going to happen. They're all contracted in to go through this together. And they all play different parts. And so the people, and just if you are playing like the bad guy at some point, don't forget you can put yourself on another timeline. Once you learned those lessons, like, oh man, I'm kind of a dick, I could change myself. So how do I do that? Boom, change into another timeline. What does that look like? Well, what does a nice guy look like? What does it look like when somebody goes out and isn't, spewing their anger? How do they get there? How do they go out into the world and feel good? And you got to start doing stuff for yourself. You got to start filling up your cup. And I know those are empty words until you really understand the meaning. And that is, go out and find yourself. What makes you happy? What are things that fulfill you? It could be something as simple as fishing. It can be anything. Maybe you want to learn how to do pottery and you just never have. And you go out and you start learning to do it and you find yourself very calm. It just is a relaxing, calm thing. You go out and you just make it. And pretty soon you're putting out this beautiful product and it changes your whole life because you followed something that you wanted to do. And it just naturally occurs that it calms you down, it relaxes you. And one thing too is when you're going through and you're doing something like doing clay or something like that, and you're using that as a way to maintain your emotional state, you go into that, it really does soothe you and it puts you into a meditation, a relaxed state of mind, whatever the different waves, it puts you into a relaxed state of mind, which helps your consciousness and your subconscious work together to release information, to bring it forward so that you can look at things and it's like a time of introspection. So you can really think about yourself and you can heal things, and it is a really good time. And, there's nothing wrong with sitting there crying while you're doing it. You don't have to stop everything you're doing and go and compose yourself or go get a beer so you don't have to think about that. No, let it flow and let that energy flow out of you and let that creation come to life, because you really are creating yourself. And so it is a release of who you never were. It's the persona that we build in order to survive in this world. And so you release that and you find the new you that is hidden inside. And so it can be anything though. But a good way to start, if you do have a lot of anger issues, is the deep breathing, and going for walks. Go out and walk. You need to, the reason you have got so much pent up anger is because you're holding too much in and it all wants to come out and you are just stuffing it in. It's the same thing as like a girl who has got a weight problem and she uses food to stuff her problems in. She just keeps stuffing it to try and hold it in. And then men will do this, like go drink and try and hold it in, and then they drink and it kind of does a little release, and then they go back to, but keep stuffing it in. They're always way up here. They're too full of too much energy, is just yearning to explode out of there. But see, you can do these slow release. Like when I open my kombucha and a whole bunch of carbonation is built up. And sometimes I have to just barely squeeze the lid and let it release a lot. And then do it a little more, let it release a lot. If I just unscrewed it, it would explode. My whole kombucha, I'd have half the bottle left if I just let it all go. And so you have to think about that with your own energy, letting it out little by little, facing what it is that is in there that is all pinned up, because you're not naturally angry. You weren't just born angry, and if you were born angry, like if your mom said you were born angry, it's probably because you were carrying some kind of burden from a past life. And so it still works to release all of that pain. You're here to release it. You're here to face it. So, let it out, let it out, let it out. And do things like, facing it and crying and feeling your emotions, allowing yourself to re-experience what you're scared to experience. And a lot of times you don't want to re-experience it because you don't want to see yourself. You don't want to have to question things. You don't want to relive experiences that were painful. But when you relive them, it is, usually you see them as like, why am I holding on to that? Why don't I just let that go? Why am I carrying that burden around? What do I need to do to release this? What am I looking at? Why am I holding on to it? And, a lot of times just forgiveness and being like, okay, well, that person didn't know. I saw this guy yesterday talking, and his one that caught my attention was, he said, I was just about to kill myself. And then, whatever it was, he started talking. And he started explaining, his process. He started thinking about his mom and how that was going to affect her. And he was talking about, the whole thing of facing yourself and loving yourself. There was something that he said that I wanted to make a point of. What was it? It drives me crazy when I get all these things. It feels like a pile up happens in my head, like all this information. So anyways, he was talking about something. What was I even talking about? So anyways, if I can get back on track. Anger and releasing the anger and letting it out. Oh, he was talking about facing childhood trauma. And he was saying, it's so hard. And, we didn't sign up for this. We didn't come here for this trauma. We didn't want to be born into trauma and have to deal with this. And it happens after generation and all that stuff. And I said in the comments, but because facing these traumas is so difficult. A lot of people don't have the strength, especially when you're talking about older people. They weren't even taught, like, this is a new thing, psychology and talking about your feelings and stuff. That was never a thing. Like, people who think like the way life is now was how life was. It wasn't. You were been thought weak, or you're telling too much. Maybe you're mentally ill. People didn't go around talking about stuff and sharing things. They had to just hold everything in and take what they got. And so, the oftentimes didn't have the strength to make change or do something different. And so I told that guy, the people who are the generations before didn't have the strength, but that's why you come in and you see it and you know what needs to change. And then you are the change. You are the one who has the strength, because you're the one who sees what needs to change. So you're the one who is the person changing it. You're the one who's changing things in your ancestry and your lineage. You're the one who is seeing the problem and going in head on trying to fix it. And, and I get how it's so hard for, young people. And they think like, oh, all these people, they didn't ever heal themselves. And now I'm having to suffer. But that is how all of them have gone. Every single one. It's always been that way, that they have to go through their stuff. And that is the same thing what I was talking about weeks ago, how that generational, the movement of the lessons through the generations. It's not just like one learns it and then does it and everything's fixed. No, it goes through all of these ones. So it is everybody learns it. It is but then you have to make the choice to do something different. But everyone learns from it, even everyone out in the universe and stuff. And too, is, the beings or whatever, the have not come here or don't come here. Maybe they're just happy in their own incarnations and stuff like that. There's a lot of people who do want to come here, who do want to face the challenges, because I'm telling you, like, when you're not here, there's no reason you would come into this place and take on so much pain and suffering if you didn't have a lot of ego. Like, just think about it. How much stuff people take on, and then they get in here and they're like, oh, I'd never do this. I would never do this to myself. But you did. So then you got to think about, like, man, I came in and I took all of this on myself. I thought I could handle this. And it is a lot. There's a lot of stuff that people are really have pushed themselves. And that is where you got to see, like, you're a true warrior. You really, if you're pushing yourself that hard, it's because you know you can do it. You wouldn't push yourself that hard if you were pushing yourself to fail, because you want to see yourself succeed. And every time that somebody doesn't succeed, I think the higher self feels like really a letdown, like, oh, I thought I could do it. I really thought I could do it this time, because there is so many challenges. And it really is like a video game. They really are, just moving you around so that you can play this out for them, so that they can watch how this plays out. And I find it also fascinating. But anyways, there is going to be something that is going to go on, whatever day it is. If it is going to be today, if it is going to be, some huge flash in the sky and we're all going to run out and the sky is going to open. Maybe we're going to see the firmament go. I don't know. I mean, there's certain things that I do know, and I do know this is all for the awakening. And I do know the energy has to go the other direction. I do know how that's going to affect people. And it is going to be like the lights come on. It's going to be like all of a sudden just awake. And it's going to be a real shock to a lot of people's systems, because they're not at all prepared. And it could be some of them with disasters and stuff. And it's important not to go out and fight with people who don't know, who don't see, and don't bully them, and don't call them sheep and call them names and stuff. The universe has a plan. Their soul has a plan. Their souls are warriors. They've pushed themselves to something that is going to be very, very traumatic, to have to turn around and heal from, the stuff that they saw, what they see, because they weren't playing games. They really couldn't see it. And so when everything turns and they really see it, like, it is shocking. Sometimes yesterday there was this woman, and she was total liberal. You can tell sometimes just the way that they look. It's so crazy how people become so defined in how they represent themselves. But because she was older, like my age or something. She had like real crazy, like, she could have been, she could have been 40. I don't fucking know. I'm positive she had a really crazy colored hair, like hot pink or something like that, and like crazy old cat eye glasses. Like she had like a whole style. Like there is a lot of these kind of progressive liberal academics, they are very, just like I was saying, like the witches and stuff, they've all got the gear. The spirituals, they've all got the gear, they've all got the look or whatever, that is a part of what they, get into. Like, okay, well, I'm going to be like this. I'm going to be like you. I'm going to dress like you. But anyways, so they, I really loved that movie, Jungle Book, when I was a kid. And that song, that was my favorite little dance thing. I used to put that on and dance to it all the time. Anyways, so she was sitting there going off on, I don't know, something about how crazy the people are that follow Trump, and that they're, we need to get a hold of them. We need to, everybody needs to go to some retraining camp, like the camps that they're completely against, for the church camps for trying to turn people ungay or whatever those things were. But they think that they can turn people to be unfreedom. Like, give up your freedom, go to a camp, learn how. Like, it's so strange. It's like, kind of sounds CCP to me. So anyway, she, was on this long thing, emotionally, putting it out there. And I was just like, this is so strange. And I commented, and I said, like, do you realize that cult is the majority of people, and that person unified and crossed racial lines, unifying people on one common goal of freedom? And, if you can't see that, you're blind. But they can't see it. Like, they literally can't see it. And I went through the comments, and I can't even tell you how much support she has. I mean, it was just going and going and going. And all these people who are totally in agreement, because they can't see it. They literally can't see it. They're not playing. They're literally trapped. Their mind is trapped in this illusion of life, and it hasn't released the paradigm structure controlled reality. They haven't been released from it yet. But that is when, these lights go on, and it is suddenly like, that is going to be so shocking to so many people. And that is what is the Great Awakening. It is that healing that has to be done when you see the truth. And there's a lot of people who, in this whole situation that has been going, who have been angry, have been bullies, have been mean to people. And that is what's going to be shown to them. They're going to see themselves. And it's not so, you can go and feel like shit and go kill yourself. It's so that you can release that side of yourself. So you can face yourself and release that side of yourself. Everybody has it. Everybody has used anger. Everybody has been assholes to somebody, I mean, that's just the way it is. We've all been that way. It's a part of being being alive, learning about yourself and stuff. So that is when everything turns to go the other direction, and you have to see yourself, then, it's to heal. It isn't to punish you. It isn't so you feel horrible and you just want to kill yourself. It is, you gotta see the blessing that's involved, and the opportunity to purge out the parts of you that you don't like, the parts of you that are hidden from you, the parts of you that are reactive in the world and toxic to yourself. Because you're not just toxic to other people, you're toxic to yourself. And it really gets you into a place of being there for yourself and living your best life. And so everything is happening for that purpose. And so as this is all going down, however it's going to go down, I really think that we are close. No matter which things are going to go down in which places, there's still something big and dramatic that is hanging over us. It's where, the people think of the rapture, which, it could be a bunch of people are going to just go to heaven, they'll create the heaven, they'll create the experience they want. And they are all contracted together, and there's still people having these dreams and stuff where there is, two people standing there and suddenly one's gone. And that is the thing in the Bible. So I don't know if it's just gotten in people's heads or if it's the universe telling you, like, this is going to go down. Don't be in fear. Just relax and just remember, nothing can happen that wasn't always going to happen. This is really just a movie playing out. that nothing is coming by surprise, that everything, and it can feel like a surprise to us. And it's crazy because most of us can feel something coming. We can just know something's coming. And it really does keep you like on edge. And it really does get you into that thing. You got to have faith. Everything's going to be okay. You got to trust the plan. It's seriously, and it's not the plan of the MAGA plan or whatever. I think they're saying trust the plan is your own plan, your own higher self's plan for you as a soul, as you awaken into this experience. Trust the plan, trust what's playing out, and just allow things to happen and stay in the flow. Face yourself and heal yourself as everything is going. Be there for other people. That may be, your big purpose is to be here for other people and put out a hand, or, maybe give somebody a package of crackers or whatever, a cup of coffee. Maybe it was time you were going to clean out your closet and you can give somebody some clothes or something. And that is the love they've ever felt in their lives, maybe that is your whole thing. And you will feel so good that you're going to want to go out and do more of that. You're going to want to go out so you can feel good, doing good in the world, because it feels so good to do good. And these people who are going around doing bad and then feeling guilty and feeling like shit about themselves don't realize, like, it is a choice. You can go out into the world and do good. And like I've said, it almost feels selfish. What could I do today that's good? I need a fix. What can I go do that's good? And it really is, it's a charge. And you do have to be careful even with that, because you can get into ego. Like, you're the savior of the world. You're going to go out and save everybody because it feels so good. So you got to remember to really save yourself. And opportunities will come to you. You don't have to go out in search of opportunities. They will cross your path when they're supposed to. And when you're present and in the moment, paying attention, you have an awareness of what is going on around you, so that you can participate in your own growth in a more mindful way, because you are there, you're present. And, but it is important to remember there's nothing to fear, because you're eternal. There is nothing that can hurt you. And everything there's a master plan behind it all. And it is just trust the plan and let things be. And, just whatever is going to go down, there's nothing to fear. And to me, I like to be prepared. Like, I've got candles out, I've charged my light, I've charged the phone charger thing, which, this is kind of weird. And I figured out it's kind of like Pig Latin, I think, when I say crane of you. Only I think it would be crane of you. I think there's another part. But anyways, the same thing with ran of I. So it's weird because all of them, I guess there's tons of people being killed in the streets. I keep seeing these videos of these girls just crying, completely scared, terrorized. They're cut off. This is what's weird. They're cut off. They can't talk to any of their friends or their family. They can't text people. But how are they getting the TikToks on? It is weird. I don't get, like, so they have no internet, but they're able to download TikToks, but they can't talk to their family and friends. But they definitely don't seem like actors, or these people are the best actors ever. They definitely feel truly traumatized and truly scared. And so I don't know. It's just another one of those things. Is that the hand of God, getting their messages out there? But, no matter what, we all need to see, like, I don't think anybody was expecting shit to go down. They didn't see a martyr coming. I'm sure it all has a way that it plays out for the collective going back, because things are going full circle. Everything's closing cycles out. So I'm sure, the whole thing with the martyr and all of this stuff is a part of their cycle, their soul's cycles over there. And in here, it's all different. It's all different everywhere. But all of this, it is this universal energy, the hand of God coming in to give everybody these opportunities. And to me, like, So I've got candles, I've got lighters, I made sure my clothes were washed. I still have water in the tub. I washed my hair again. Only yesterday I used like the detergent soap, the regular old shampoo, which I hadn't used in a while, but I kept thinking, man, my hair just feels too oily using those soap bars. And I'm trying some different soap bars. I looked on Grove and there's a bunch of other, so I'm going to try some different ones. And then I've seen where people are making their own shampoo, and some people just use the vinegar, but some people put all sorts of stuff into it. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who have been doing a lot of stuff that'll start selling these products as things move forward. I don't think we all have to go out and learn to make our own shampoo. There will be people who are really focused on that right now. And that will just naturally go into a business, I think, for a lot of people. And, there will be, just like the right people will cross our paths at the right time. So it's not like we have to sit there and worry like, oh my God, where will we get our shampoo? What will we do? But anyways, my head was already being itchy yesterday afternoon. So I washed it and then I tried braiding it and stuff. But I don't know, just getting some clean stuff, making sure you have clean clothes, getting water around in case, you need it to flush your toilet or whatever, need it to wash your hands off, make sure you have wipes, make sure you have a lot of drinking water. I cooked some food last night, so I had food already cooked in case the power goes down, I don't like to eat like raw food. So anyways, just doing stuff like that, just so you can feel like, okay, I'm prepared. I've done what I can do. There's not anything else I can do. Now I've just got to sit here and relax, keep myself sane, keep myself centered. I am doing it like, I keep crocheting. My hands get really crampy, and then I look for something on TV and take a break or go look on TikToks and stuff. I don't know what's going to be going on TikTok today. There's a bunch of people saying that they're going to just try and stay centered and stay off of the internet and go outside and, and just live today like it's your last day. I mean, it could be the last day for some people. And we got to really get into our heads to live every day like it's our last day. We shouldn't need these traumatic events to remind us what's important. But the trauma that we're all going through is going to impact humanity for the future generations far, far ahead. So it is really important because people really are learning what is important, and they're just reprioritizing and learning their own strength. So a lot of great things are happening, even though it's going through a lot of tragedy to have it happen. But that's how the light and dark can work together, and how it is this, the light coming in to give you this opportunity. So anyways, just be safe today. I'm going to start trying to download this. It's so iffy. Like some days it can take like 3 hours. Some days it can take 6 hours. Some days it can take 12 hours. Like I never know. I don't know what's going on up in there in the YouTube. So, or out into the world, and there's no telling. I mean, one thing though I will end with saying that is very confusing is how many of these people in Russia right now who, this one girl I just saw, and I went on to look at what her account was normally, and her account was very, one of those just lip syncing, dancing around, doing cute, like I'm such a cutie, kind of little commercial kind of things that all these girls do, just little things. I don't know how to explain it. Just all trying to out cute each other or something. They just, their value, they don't know their own value yet. They're just trying to get somebody to think they're cute, to think they're pretty. It's kind of like a fishing trip, I think, for some of these girls. But so she had one of those accounts. In this video, she looked very different because she's bawling her head off. Her hair's not fixed. So I was kind of surprised when I went on to the other one. I was like, oh, she's one of those girls. Another one of these girls that are actually having to deal with some real traumatic shit right now. And it's, changing their perspective and having them to see something that is going on around them. And so I guess over there that they put out a thing that they're going to draft. They're drafting. And he's saying that he's going to, nuke everybody. He's going to nuke us, and supposedly China's going to go in and with him, and they're all going to nuke everybody or something. And that's the thing why Joe's like, oh yeah, blah, what all, and that's why the military is telling Joe he has to step down and all this stuff, I guess. So anyways, she was literally bawling her head off and so scared, and going through all of her friends and family and how what's gonna happen and stuff. And the thing that was confusing to me was just like, is she just not paying attention? Does she really know what's going on? Because, but how do we know? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I've heard from the very beginning of my awakening, because there was already people already talking about prophetic stuff. I mean, way back, there was a bunch of us that were already awakening and talking, and it was already out there that Putin was going to be very involved in what was going to come, and that he was the good guy. And so it's just weird when you see some of these people, because to me, he's saying all this because he's got to push the DS to make a move. That's what they're all coming right now to push them to make a move. And that's why there's going to probably be some drama. And anyways, I still think no matter what they're saying or whatever, that he's not really going to, nuke everybody. Even if they did go off, the aliens won't allow it, because it affects the whole universe. It affects other realms besides ours. We aren't the whole universe as much as people want to think we are. There's people living inside there. There's animals. There's everything alive around us that is having its own experience. And because, the humans can't deal with their shit, they're going to just blow everybody up. It just isn't allowed. I guess a long time ago, I think, there was, when there was a lot more of the warring and stuff between other planetary systems, I think that there was some nuclear stuff, and they saw the devastation, and so they don't allow that to go on, even when any are going. Like the one that was going on, that Hawaii situation, I heard that a ship flew over. It was going across the water, and a ship flew over it, and then it just fell. So I don't know, from what I've heard forever, that they won't let nukes go off. So, but, they can sit here and threaten us, and then do some big power surge, this big EMF, and that's what the whole towers and stuff is about. So they can definitely hit us really hard with the frequency and knock us down. I mean, some people, it could probably give them an embolism. Like, if you're really not healthy. So I don't know, and that could be why Trump was saying, that's not, the ending's not for everybody. A lot of people don't even know their own health because they're not taking care of themselves. They're relying on a system, relying on other people to do it, and those people aren't doing it. So, that could very well be what is going to go down. I don't know. I feel certain what I'm here for. And I feel certain that this isn't taking me out. But if it does, then I would just feel like I'm just transitioning to the new earth or something, to a new reality, a place where everything is better. Like, that I finished with this hard part. So anyways, I just say I'm not going to stress out that he's really going to do that. And I'm not sure what the real climate is there, because here we can see how many people are really confused. The people who hate Trump, who have no idea that he's fighting the deep state for our freedom. He's exposing the corporation and the corruption that has gone on to destroy this country. So, I would say it's probably the same over there, with people there that are confused, especially, some girl who's just focused on, making cute TikToks all day. She's probably not really thinking about what's going on with, politics and stuff, So anyways, there will be a lot of people who are not going to see what's coming. It's going to be very shocking. So, and it's not just the disasters, it's the whole energy, it's the whole change of directions. It is the awakening. That's what everything is about. So anyways, just be safe. As long as I have power, I'll keep coming. I even thought if something went real crazy, like all of a sudden there was a space war up in my sky, I probably would go live to show. So, and if something like that goes down and there is all of a sudden, this big thing up in the sky and we have things flying at us and stuff, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who are going to go live showing what's going on. So anyways, just stay safe and just keep remembering that you are an eternal being. Nothing can hurt you and nothing can happen that wasn't always going to happen. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.